cabin wall, look at, you know, all the other walls, and then say, well, city council is not going to do that. They're not going to fix and repair that. We're already. I went to that coastal barrier meeting. I went to that. I'm just as afraid as everyone else, because when I saw, some idiots take pictures during a storm and say, oh my God, it's coming into my window, and we're watching them. What are you doing there? You're jeopardizing your life and the rest of us and what's going on. We can't predict. We can't predict how the ocean's going to turn, because she's a bitch, and that can take any one of us. But the fact is, can we stand together? I like the idea that Concord says about the sand. I'm not worried about the sand. I'm worried about the wall. I do have a worry about the wall. If it falls, are they going to replace it? Yes. I'm hoping that, I don't know how to do it or whatever, I'm hoping that when it comes to an issue of the wall, that in a year, if they see, and the city can do something about it. If the city sees that that wall is bringing too much water because of storms, and we don't know what storm's going to happen, we don't know what's really going to happen next year during a storm. When do you think we're going to have these storms? Nemo was nothing, and then last week we'll go like, what the hell happened? So I'm sure that they'll say, you know what, they don't want the streets to flood. I don't think anyone does. They push your business. If the more we're in the newspaper, the more we're in, oh, look, we lost her. Just like Plum Island or Cape Cod or anything else. People are traveling this way because it's safer, and we want to have a viable, working waterfront and fishing and people coming. It's not my choice to say, well, if it's year-round and if it's not going to be full, that ain't my problem. My problem is if you're not going to be full, then there's no parking place downtown. I won't have the air for the winter. The fact is that I personally was against a lot of things, and I wasn't afraid to say so. I wasn't just given the opportunity. Me as a vice president of the Fishermen's Wives, oh, I can understand that part. But I personally, I'm not here sitting here personally about everything. I was elected at large to represent the city of Gloucester. I promised that their voice would be heard. And I'm really sorry that some of the voices were not, and I tried the best I can to get some of the things out, and I was confused on a lot of them. But knowing the applicant, it's not her fault that we didn't ask the right questions and do the right things if you think that way, because some of the stuff that we are addressing is answering those questions. But I know that they'll work with us. If the wall falls, they don't want it to fall. If this is going to change, they don't want it that. I talked to fishermen, and a lot of them said that they had no problem. They had no problem. And no, she's not going buying them because she's letting them dock there. Oh, she's going to let them dock there temporarily, and then once she gets her permit, it's going to be thrown out. Hello? That's not happened. That's not going to happen. I mean, we are a community. If we all suffer, so will their hotels. My biggest concern is, I saw it last night. Who was for it, who was against it? Down-to-earth people, we're afraid, you're hearing things, our ocean, our waterfronts, we're not going to be able to go here. The first survey I did, yes, and I was allowed to do it, I guess, and a lot of them were saying, well, once they heard that, yes, the beach is ours. I don't know whoever gave it away, I'm sorry, but when we played a claim on it because someone sued, I'm sorry, I thought the beach was ours, and it's going to be ours, and I don't care what anyone says, what did you give me, it's mine anyway, so. But the fact is, no, you're going to have public access. Actually, it's going to be more handicapped, more accessible. Yes, and at the beach, I go to the beach, there is always a click. You have the clean pot, because if you clean your pot over there, Italians in one cause, Guineas, whatever in the middle, and whatever the rocks on the side. But the fact is, we'll always be there, we're always going to do that, we're always going to watch the hotel, we're always going to do that. I know in Florida, and I know I'm talking too much, but too bad, but in Florida, when we went to a private hotel, they actually loved it that when we couldn't go access because they were fixing, they let us go through the hotel room, right through the lounge. And we were the only ones that allowed to go through, and we got to use their chairs. So I'm not seeing us as a bad thing. I'm not seeing that it's going to be destroyed. I'm not seeing, you know, it's going to be a resort. I know, and I want people in the audience to understand that. When you were born and raised down there, you were called everything. You were in a city. You were dirt. You were scum. They stood by that. They owned that down there. And they changed it down there. They cleaned it down there. And they made it that name. I grew up on the West End. We were inner city kids. And no one wanted it. Now everyone loves it. Now it's the best thing in the hottest place in the world. We suffered the name. We suffered the calls. We suffered that. And now, because it's a beautiful place, it's a little piece of that. Now it's like, okay, we're rude, we're ignorant, we're that. No, we're not. We're compassionate. We put up with it. Yes, if we find us where we may not be as highly educated or verbally speaking like the rest of you, but the fact is, we were born and raised there, and we know what it is to be tough. We know what it is to be hard workers. So it doesn't shout it, I know that. I don't know about Mr. Davis. I don't care. he's not probably able to come forward, but I know Sherry will, and I know everyone else will, and I know the city council who may want to not run, but who lives down there. I know I'm going to continue going down there. And I take it offensive when they say, well, nobody wants change. They had change down there. Not for nothing, but Burnside wasn't there always. I remember houses. Your mother had a house down there. We all had houses down there. There are changes in diversity. We can work together. It's when we work together, we will accomplish something. I know we're going to be angry tonight, but we can accomplish something, and I can feel something good. But put it this side. Looking at my view is when you have someone else that promised you they're going to build up. They come up with high rises, assisted living, everything else, and then say, no, it's not going to do that. And then you buy it, and then all of a sudden, someone else is buying all the pieces of land next to it. Yeah, I'd be afraid too. And by doing this and having all these rumors, and when you have a billionaire coming and going to do something, and you have someone else who's going to build just cruise port or Essex Ave, where was every one of you who supported this on Essex Ave? You all said you wanted a hotel, but wasn't that a hotel being built? That was going to be year-round, but I didn't see any of you. So we're picking and choosing. Let's stop. Let's stop picking and choosing. That failed through a lawsuit. If we really want to actually see something, and I would love to have a working waterfront. I would have loved to have been in O'Donnell's, but I back then, no. But I would love to, but it didn't happen. And I'm sorry, could have, should have, would have, and the Malloys or anyone else who wanted to buy that, whatever. It's not going to happen. It's going to be stopped. So what's going to be there, whether you feel it's shut down your throat or not, or whether it's not, let's make it vibrant. If she feels, we all feel. If the beach is abandoned, we all are. If that sand's going to go someplace and we're not reporting it, or if we're going to see holes in the walls and we can't report it, we can't fix it, then we all lose, whether we live down there or not. And I respect for the people who live down there because you had to deal with it all your lives. And if it was me personally, I'd say I'd be with you, and I'm a councilor at large. And I have to represent what my community wants. And my community says, Father, put you in office to put a hotel there. Even though they don't see both sides, and even though they only hear on one side. But that's what they want, and that's why I'm voting tonight. Thank you.